Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. So y'all, I'm so excited. There's not a reason, like I can't put my finger on what makes me so excited. A lot of us, we did just get released from jail yesterday morning at 7 o'clock based on the video that was posted. And so maybe that is why I'm excited, but I just am so excited. I don't know how the reading is going to unfold, but there's just excitement, there's joy. Two things I want to say. Laura, Jenny, Renee, I'll be communicating with you today by email. I told you I saw your last email. I just needed a little bit so I could kind of digest it and respond. So today I'll be able to write back to you. And then also Tammy and Shy. If you haven't received your personal reading by the time you hear this, you will be receiving it today. Okay? So emails, personal readings. Also, yesterday, somebody in the comment section mentioned my skin, and they suggested that I use castor oil. And so prior to me reading that tip from you, I had ordered two things. I had ordered like a vitamin C serum and then like a puffy under eye cream. And I got those two things today. And so after the castor oil, I ordered that. And so that comes. I got those things yesterday because I'm trying to base it on the time that you'll see this reading. So yesterday I got the vitamin C serum and the puffy eye cream. And today when you see this reading, I will have received the castor oil. All right, y'all. So I'm going to start trying to do like a regimen, a routine for skin. And so if you have suggestions and tips, obviously it's the way you say everything, you know? So I appreciate you, and y'all look at me every day. So if you notice something, see something, want to suggest something, I'm open, I'm not offended. I appreciate you for caring enough to offer me some type of tip or insight, guidance, wisdom. I'm all for it. So actively, I'm going to begin a process. So if you see a change or a shift, let me know. And yeah. We're looking at each other all the time. So thank you so much. All right, y'all. So I'm going to start the reading with Cosmic Energy Oracle cards, okay? And then I'll clarify with Kipper-ish. I'll move on and we'll see how much we can get in. All right, here we go. First card that comes out, maybe that's why I'm excited. First card that comes out is Abundance. It says abundance comes from inner fulfillment and outer effort. Inner fulfillment and outer effort. Yo, that's a great way to start the reading, right? And so when you're rich within, your riches are going to start to pour outside, like it's going to be reflected. Abundance. Next card, trust. It says trust your intuition. The universe guides you. All right, so the abundance that you feel within, it comes from a certain level of trust, consistently trusting yourself, not doubting, not second guessing, not doubling back, not needing outside validation from somebody else to be like, so what do you think if I did this? What do you think if I did that? Well, should I do? You know what I mean? It's like once you feel it, you think it, you say it, it just is, and you trust it. And when you continuously do that, it builds up a wealth inside of you because you trust yourself. Every cell in your body is going to trust your judgment and your wisdom. You can't lose. Next card. We have cleansing. It says cleanse your mind and spirit. Remove negative energy. So in the center of this reading, we are talking about cleansing. Cleansing ourselves of something negative in our emotion, our mind, our spirit, or our physical body. Now, your skin is your largest organ. And so I am also doing, I'm taking 3 things to kind of cleanse myself right now. And so I do want to say that it may come out, you know, it comes out a variety of different ways when you're purging and cleaning toxins. And so just keep that in mind at the same time that I told you I'm doing this skin regimen, okay? So in the center, we're talking about mind and spirit being cleansed, purified, and being able to purge from any type of negative energy. Look at this one, rebirth. And so the reason why you're cleansing is because you're about to take flight and you can't be carrying anything heavy. You can't carry anything that's not yours. And so this is like dropping everything off that doesn't belong to you, trusting that I got to go somewhere. But a lot of these bags that I'm bringing with me don't belong to me. So before I can take my trip, listen, The carry-on baggage is for a limited amount. You can't carry on a certain amount of weight, and you can't carry on bags that are too big. So in order for me to take this trip, in order for me to take this flight, I know abundance is where I'm going, but I also know I can't bring an abundance of things. And so the thing that you want to carry the most is just trust in self. Okay. And so this is almost like giving me the energy of spring cleaning, but it's happening within. Right? Every end is a new beginning. So let me go ahead and drop off all the shit that doesn't belong to me, and then finally released. Yesterday I read somebody's reading about the bird cage, a bird being released from the cage. This is immediately what I thought about. It says, release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. Listen, I'm thinking of the Erykah Badu song, Bag Lady. You're gonna hurt your back carrying all them bags like that, right? Nobody ever told you. It's about holding on to things that don't belong to you, holding on to things that impacted you, but you've kept them way beyond the point of expiration. And so you got to take a flight, and you're landing in a place called abundance, but you got to trust that you are capable, you are called to take this flight, but you can't get on the plane with a whole bunch of stuff. So now you got to clean yourself inside, outside, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because you're preparing for a rebirth. You're about to take a flight to a place that you've never been before. So you're ending this one experience and you're flying to a new one. And this is essentially going to release you from one existence and birth you into another one, right? And so this is like saying goodbye to the past, anything that burdened you, anything that felt heavy, anything that weighed you down, because the new beginning is here, right? And endings are hard because we are familiar with whatever the experience is that we're ending. And so a new beginning, it's foreign. It's like being in unknown territory, but needing to trust that you are exactly where you need to be, even if nothing feels, sounds, or looks familiar. Okay? All right, so those were our first 5 cards, but the general information is about us really cleansing, removing all the negative things, the things that are low vibrational, the things that literally can't go, right? Do you know how much it costs to check a bag, right? Let's think about that. You get a certain amount of carry-ons, and then anything that you can't bring onto the plane, you got to check it on, but that's going to cost you something. And so if we're going to abundance, we don't want to have to pay for things that don't belong to us. So don't bring what is not going to contribute to the abundance that you would like to walk into, right? This is like going to a tropical island, but you have only winter clothes. And like, instead of just buying your summer clothes when you get to the island, you could just go shopping while you're on vacation. It's like you got all these winter clothes, these coats, these scarves, these hats that you cannot use when you land. All right. So now it's going to get a little more specific. I got the Kipper-ish deck. Let's see what the first card is that comes out. This first card, it almost flipped. This first card is going to come out. Look at this, divinity. So this card is what clarifies abundance, right? This is like, all right, everybody, get your halos. All right, halos on. You got released from prison. It's time to get your halo. The only thing you need to wear, the only thing you need to bring with you on this trip is your halo. So get it out, shine it, polish it, you know. It's time to put it on again. All right, now we have emotional pain. So this is about having divine abundance, right? Like literally inside of you. Your halo has always been there. Your halo has always been shining. And now it's going to be able to be seen on the outside of you. But then we have this trust your intuition. I feel like because the universe is taking you to a new energy, a new space, a new timeline, a new existence. Now, what is this emotional pain? Is it yours? Is it someone else's? But it's coming out on top of trust. I can't understand why you would be so excited about abundance and divinity and finally getting to wear your halo, but then at the same time emotionally being in pain. And so just off the, I'm not in emotional pain. Like, I'm genuinely excited. And so this could be somebody on the outside that is watching you move into a new season. They're watching you adjust your halo. They're watching you get your wings nice and feathered and fluffy, right? And so the fact that you are trusting yourself beyond anyone or anything else could be causing emotional pain. But the universe is your guide, and we know we won't be guided to anything that is causing us. I dropped a card. Give me 1 second. Okay. Soulmate. All right. So in the center of the reading, I said we're talking about cleansing. We're cleansing our mind. We're cleansing our spirit. We're removing negative energy. The card that comes out on top of cleansing is soulmate. Alrighty. So the soulmates could be in emotional pain. You know, for a period of time, we do have to do life with specific people because our souls are a part of the same class. Our souls were assigned the same curriculum, right? There are certain people that are going to be in your class. You know, at the beginning of the year, you can't wait to see who's in your class. Well, prior to incarnating, we already knew who our classmates were. We already knew what season we would meet them, what age we would be, the experience we would have. But right now, you're about to take flight. And so there may have been some people, soulmates, that you have had many classes with, many experiences with, but because you are cleansing and preparing for something new, everybody can't go with you. And so this could be the period of time where some of your soulmates are going to have to separate from you for good or for bad, right? And so watching you cleanse, the internal energy is going to impact your external world, right? And so every time you clean and purge something inside of you, it is essentially like you got to drop someone off outside of you. Sometimes relationships are like bags or luggage that you can't take with you, right? If the universe gives you a one-way ticket, but you've got these soulmates, but you've only got one ticket, are you going to deny yourself the trip? Are you not going to take the ticket because there's not enough for everybody to go with you? And so I don't think this emotional pain belongs to you. Now we have manifestation. Manifestation comes out on top of rebirth, and it says every end is a new beginning. And so you know where you're going. You are not surprised that you got this ticket. Right? This is your rebirth, and it's only because you called it in. But what happens if you were calling in something and the people around you or the people that you've been connected to, what if they weren't manifesting? What if they weren't calling in the same thing that you were? And a lot of times, you know, all of this stuff is happening internally. And nobody really knows what you've been doing because you've been doing it on the inside. But this reading is, listen, it's literally saying everything that you've been doing internally is going to be revealed externally. All right, now the final card from the Kipper-ish deck is going to clarify. Release. And so we have poverty. It says, please help. I'm sorry, y'all. I was just trying to figure out what was happening there. So you've manifested a rebirth. And for others, they could be literally going through something opposite. Please help. Please help. Release. Release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. That emotional pain belongs to others. That emotional pain belongs to others. If you're starting this reading in abundance, and that is where your ticket or your flight is taking you, now for a period of time, you could have been in a position of poverty. Poverty doesn't have to be material. It could be emotional. It could be physical, like in the event that you're in an environment that really makes you feel low. It doesn't propel you. It doesn't uplift you, right? There are many ways to experience poverty. Poverty is essentially lacking something, not having stability, not feeling stable and secure, not being rooted. When I think about being rooted, I just think about plugging something into a socket. When you're rooted, you're plugged in. When you're not rooted and you're not grounded, it's almost like somebody has taken your socket out. And so this is somebody who's like, please help, like plug me in, which for a period of time could have been what you were feeling. And the only reason why you finally got plugged in is because you recognized like a lot of people were pulling on your cord. A lot of people were using your energy. And as soon as you release those past burdens and you embrace the new beginnings, it's like you get plugged in, but your plug is only able to power you now. It can only power you. It can't power anybody else. All right, so now I'm going to use my handmade deck to kind of clarify what this reading is revealing. So we have divine abundance. All right, first card comes out. It says decision making reflects back on situations. So in order for you to be where you are now, you had to reflect about where you have been. And so whether you go back 6 years or 6 months or 6 weeks or 60 years, this is about you looking back and being like, how long do I want to be here? Do I want to return here? Is this for me? Does this match my divinity? Is this a place where my halo is safe? Is this a place where I can put my halo to use, right? And so the only reason why your physical world is about to go through a shift, it is because you have literally reflected on all of the other seasons of life, all the other versions of you that you have been. And you're like, okay, now which one is worth me keeping? What is worth me taking with me? What is worth me releasing, right? Now, when I was that version of myself, who was I tied to? All right, now if that was a very low version of myself, and when I was at my lowest, I was tied to you people. So if I don't want to be at my lowest, I also can't be tied to you people, right? Like when you reflect on people, you reflect on places, you reflect on things. And if none of those categories are contributing to your abundance and the divinity that lies within you, then you know those are things that you got to release. This is how you make decisions. All right, so next we have genetic upliftment. It says you must act and integrate what is awakening within you. Now, one of the things that could have triggered you to kind of trust what you were feeling internally, it could have been emotional pain. Listen, you want somebody to pay attention, smack them. Think about when parents smack or spank or beat their kids. It's because when somebody's not listening, they're being disobedient. They're not honoring or respecting the guidance or the wisdom that you're trying to tell them. It's like, well, damn it, now I got to put my hands on you. Not that I'm like supporting that, but I'm just essentially saying sometimes you have to smack sense or knock an emotion into somebody, right? If somebody's doing something that is causing pain to themselves, to their environment, or to another, and they don't stop, it's like, well, let you feel what it feels like to be at the other end of what you're doing, right? If you don't understand the impact that you're having on other people, well, now I'm going to smack you so you can see what the pain feels like. Sometimes life does that to us, right? And pain is a quick lesson because it wakes you up immediately because you don't like the way it feels and you want it to stop. And it's like, oh my God, I do not want to feel that again. It is uncomfortable. It makes me feel weak. It makes me feel vulnerable, lonely, and lost. And so sometimes a great lesson or a great trigger is emotional pain because you don't want to repeat that. You don't want to go through that experience. And so that could have been a trigger in order for you to trust your intuition. Sometimes if we're living too much in our ego, for a variety of reasons, sometimes the people, places, and things that we are connected to are going to continue to cause us emotional pain until we recognize we got to release them. And so maybe releasing the things that caused you pain is what got you to trust your intuition. And at the same time you trust your intuition, you go through this genetic upliftment. Now you start to act and integrate what you're feeling inside. I'm getting pain on the outside because I'm ignoring my intuition on the inside, right? And if I want this pain to stop, well, then I need to integrate what is being revealed to me from within. And this is how you evolve. And so that could have been our pain, guys. And obviously this is not the present moment, this is the past moment, but the pain could have come from soulmates. Some people are literally attached to us because they are supposed to bring us a certain amount of pain. And that is what wakes us up. That is what gets us to be like, yo, I'm not doing that again. I don't want to be in this cycle with you. I don't want to be attached to you. I don't want to live like you. I don't want to look like it causes you to reflect. What did I do to get here? What did I do to feel this? All right. Has a growth mindset. Now this is coming out with soulmates and cleansing, right? And so if you want to grow beyond pain, you also have to grow beyond the people that are some people are comfortable with pain. Some people are comfortable with the version of life that they're living. And I feel like our life can be heaven or hell. You know, you don't have to die in order to experience heaven, and you don't have to die in order to experience hell. And there are certain people that you may have had to leave behind because maybe they didn't have that growth mindset. The very thing that causes you pain, the very thing that you want to stop experiencing, some people have made peace with it. That is the only reality that they'll ever exist in. But if that is not your story, because you got a whole halo you got to wear, then you need to reflect. You go backwards. You change your decisions, right? When I made that choice, I got hurt. So I need to look back and I need to not make that choice again. It's like literally just going backwards to see which steps you took and be like, I ain't taking that step again. I'm not doing it. Not everybody that you are connected to has the ability to do that. It takes courage. It takes vulnerability. Your ego can't be too big because at some point you're going to have to be accountable for the errors and the mistakes that you've made personally. So this is like being able to check yourself. And sometimes the universe cares about you so much that it will check you. It'll get you to feel something that is so uncomfortable because it understands that you have a higher calling. I'm going to cause you pain real quick because I want you to know how big and mighty you are. I want you to know that your calling is a little different from everybody else's. Everybody else ain't walking around here with a halo. And you have a halo. And so you can't do like that. You can't do like them. You can't speak like them. You can't live like them. You can't respond, you know? All right, now this card is going to kind of clarify manifestation and rebirth. The rebirth card reminds us that, listen, every end is a new beginning. And so you are, at the same time that you are manifesting new beginnings, you were also manifesting endings. You're closing curtains on people, places, and things, and seasons, and experiences so that you can have the ability to go open a new curtain, right? It's like, okay, what have I been watching? I ain't watching that no more. I don't want to watch that show. I don't want to see what happens next season because I don't want to live that life again. All right. We have, you are now learning to find your own value. Listen, there's certain types of pain that makes you feel so low and so insignificant. It makes you feel like you have no worth. I mean, pain literally takes you to the bottom. Some people make peace with that. And some people, think about when you were swimming, right? Think about when you sink down to the bottom of the pool, and when you want to get up to the top as quick as possible, you push your feet on the bottom of the pool and you kind of propel yourself forward, right? Sometimes that is what pain does. You feel it and you're like, oh my God, I'm too deep. Oh my God, I got it. No, I need some air, right? And so as hard and as fast and as forceful as you can, you push yourself up because you just want to get to the top. You just want to get to the surface. Some people get to the bottom of the pool, and the pool is really just a flood of emotions that are overwhelming, that are overbearing. Some people get there and then they kind of drown. It's too much. They forget the way they don't have enough energy. They forget how to get to the top, right? Sometimes it just causes them to just succumb to the circumstance. Some of us are like, oh no, I need air. This has got to stop now, right? And so you learn to find your own value through emotional pain, because emotional pain teaches you to trust yourself, right? Listen, if you keep getting yourself in situations that are breaking you down emotionally, at some point you self-sabotage because you're like, you know what, Tennille, I don't like the decisions you make. Every time you make a decision, you get us in some kind of trouble. And now we're hurt. Now we're crying. Now we're depressed. Now we're anxious, right? And so you won't even trust self, and self won't even trust you to guide it correctly. Right? And so the pain causes you to be like, okay, now how many times are we going to live through that again? And then so your intuition is like, go left. Hang it up. No, I don't respond. And then you start to trust that because you know the last time I ignored you, the last time I didn't believe what you revealed to me about that person, I was somewhere crying, right? Depressed and broken and distraught. The final card that comes out, it says Ladder of Death. All right, now this just got a little dark. But the ladder of death, it talks about certainty and the universality of death, right? And so if we look at our human life as one big ladder, like a massive ladder, and we're all on different rows, we're all on different steps of the ladder, and you can only go up, and up is death. Everybody is, this is a little morbid, everybody's dying every single day, right? Right now I'm talking to you, and in 1 minute, I'm going to be closer to death than I've ever been. because every single minute we are climbing the ladder, every single second. And when I get to whatever step that Tennille gets to, that may be my final step. Now, you may have about 10 more steps before you reach your end, and we never really know when it is our end. So now, considering what I've just said about the ladder of death, I feel like you have manifested your own rebirth. You have released yourself from poverty. You're learning to find your own value. Something about this death, though, I feel like you understand exactly what I just said. Like, every day we're dying. Like, why not live again? Why not rebirth? Why not trust ourselves? Like, do you really want to get death? Do you really want to get closer to death being in a state of depression, being in a state of anxiety or fear, or living in illusions? Like, is that how you want to climb the ladder? Right? And so sometimes there are people around us, sometimes the people that are your soulmates that don't have the same calling on your life, they are going to project a reality that is not in alignment with you. And it really is helping you understand, listen, I got to climb this ladder, and either way I climb, I'm dying. So I might as well die with my halo on. I might as well die with my light shining. Like, right? Like, don't you want to go out a certain kind of way? That got a little dark at the end. But I almost feel like this is your ability to manifest heaven after living through series of hells. Okay? And every soulmate that you've had to cleanse or purge, everybody that didn't have a growth mindset, everybody that doesn't value or have the same calling on their life, they were a teacher. And sometimes people teach you who you are, and sometimes people teach you who you are not. And so you're in the process of cleansing all of those people that reflected the lack of divinity, right? And so now that you know you got a halo, you got to trust your internal guidance. Your instincts are the voice of your soul. Your soul is not surprised that you have a halo. It is not surprised at all. Now the ego, it may be hard for the ego to understand it because of the way human life is structured here on earth. But your soul knows what's up. And so we have grounding. To begin the reading, I started to talk about grounding. I feel like when you are grounded and you are safe and you're secure and stable and rooted, you are essentially plugged in. You're plugged into earth, and you can survive and you can earn and you can grow and you can be abundant. And so this card says, listen, get quiet and stay present. And so one of the ways that you reflect, or one of the ways that you kind of sort through all of the decisions that you made in the past, is I think it's in solitude. It's by listening to your voice and your voice alone, recognizing that nobody can be louder than you in your life, right? Like, you literally, y'all, you are so in control of your own story. And if you don't like the way your story is unfolding, you can rip the page out of your notebook and totally write a new story. And every 24 hours, you can either continue the story that you've already started to write, or you can just scrap it and write a new one, right? And in order to really reflect, sometimes you need your own voice, your own feelings, your own thoughts. And so this is about not being attached to anything outside of self, which is why you get quiet. You center yourself, and it's only your awareness that you need. This is about you creating the stability that you desire. But we're starting about the fact that you got a ticket to a place called abundance, and it requires you to wear your halo. And so if you have not been wearing your halo for a lot of seasons, maybe that's why you weren't plugged in. Maybe that's why you weren't stable or secure or feeling grounded, because you forgot the most important piece of your uniform. And so now you're reflecting back on all the situations that didn't allow you to wear your halo, or all the situations that you were wrapped up in where your halo was not acceptable. You know, it was not the uniform. You put on a whole new uniform. But this next uniform is purity. And so you can't be wearing all white, hanging out with dirty people. When I'm talking energy, right? So you're cleansing, you're cleaning, you're removing negative energy. And sometimes you have to remove people that carry a certain type of negative energy. So we have emotional pain, and this is coming out with partnership. grow good relationships. And see, that's what I was saying. Some of this emotional pain, it really isn't yours. It is those that didn't get the ticket, that don't have the halo, that don't have the all white uniform, right? And so right now if you want to grow good relationships, you kind of have to uproot the bad ones, because you recognize, listen, I've been dealing with you for this many years. Some people are your family. We've been together my entire existence. And if this is how far a relationship has come, well, then this is all I need to know, right? And sometimes the place you're going is not the place where these people understand. They didn't get the calling, they didn't get the ticket, but also they don't know how to grow good relationships. The best relationship you will ever grow first is the one with yourself. And the one you grow with yourself is going to determine the other ones that you can attract and you can have, which is why emotional pain is needed in order to reveal to you that I really don't have a good relationship with myself, because I am dragging myself through the mud again and again and again for the sake of these people, these places, and these things that I have attached to. So now I'm going to unplug. I'm going to detach, because I only want to hear me. I only want to feel me. I only want to sense me. And so this is about you being in a partnership that reflects your genetic upliftment. And sometimes you can only be in a partnership with yourself until you get your decisions in order, right? And whatever you are feeling inside, you got to act on it. You got to integrate it in order to awaken something inside of you. Some people are only supposed to cause you pain in order to get you to uplift, in order to get you to grow. Now, there are a lot of details to relationships, right? But what I'm saying is on a soul level, there is a bigger story. There's a greater purpose to that connection. And so people that don't have a growth mindset, they are not going to be able to go forward with you, because you are growing, you are evolving, you are expanding. Next, we have attraction. It says call in your soul allies. Exactly. Everybody that is a part of your soul tribe, everybody that is aligned with your divinity, like now when you show up to places and you're wearing all white with a halo, nobody's going to be surprised. Nobody's going to be offended. Nobody's going to be turned off. Nobody's going to mock you or feel threatened or feel jealous or feel envious, right? Because as soon as you start to honor your truth, you essentially send out a vibration. The universe is going to match that vibration with relationships where people feel that way about you because they first felt that way about themselves. And so if you're looking for an ally, be an ally to yourself. If you're looking for somebody that is aligned with their soul, well, you need to be aligned with your soul, right? And so it's like now you are going to attract people that have that same mindset. Like the way you move, they move. You don't want, there are certain things, you know, sometimes relationships are really hard in the 3D because it's like you got to give everybody an instruction manual about the way you work, the way you don't work. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't operate that. No, I don't do that. Like where you're going, as soon as this flight lands to Abundanceville, when you get off the plane, like everybody has on a halo, everybody's wearing white. There are certain things that you'll never have to explain. You'll never have to describe because these people just get it. But you had to cut the cords with all of the people that don't reflect that. Some people are addicted to emotional pain. They don't know what to do unless they're hurting. They don't know what to do unless they're crying and sad and depressed. Some people just get comfortable being at the bottom of the pool. Some of us are like, hell no. Right? We have helpers. Help is here for you. So at the same time that you learn to find your own value and you go through this new rebirth, you manifest, you're like the phoenix rising. Like you can't help but call this into the universe. It's like you're placing an order. It's like, all right, universe, so I found out I love myself and I also trust myself. And I recognize that I didn't always make the best decisions. And so now I'm trying to make good decisions. And one of the decisions I need to make is I can't hang out with people that don't make good decisions. I can't hang out with people who don't trust themselves. I can't, right? And so the way you move, the universe will honor you. The universe honors every step, every thought, every action that you take. You are honored. And so it's like, now you're not doing this alone. I mean, for a period of time, it is going to be just you. But I want you to know that every time you move in a way that honors you, you are placing in order for the universe to recognize something that you are doing. And your reflection, those counterparts, those people who have gone through that same journey, they're taking those same steps. Everybody's get 24 hours. The way you spend your 24 hours, there's somebody else out there spending their 24 hours the same way. And so it's like, here comes the help. This is why I'm excited. This is a really good reading. This is a really good reading. Y'all, we only been out of prison for like 24 hours. Now we end it with enchantment. Is that how I say it? Enchantment. Cultivate beauty and magic. Listen, we're all on that ladder to death. Every day we're dying. Why don't you want to have a beautiful, like, why not do this thing the right way? Did y'all really come all the way back to earth to be sad and depressed and anxious and tied to a whole bunch of people who are not even awake and aware of who and what they are, right? Did you really come back to wear your halo and to be amongst a whole bunch of NPCs? Like, is that what you did this for? Right? And so this is like, the environment is a little active right now. Sorry, y'all. It's kind of distracting me. This is recognizing that, listen, if I can't find beauty, I can create beauty. Some people are content, or they learn to be content with the ugliness of whatever that life is, right? And so this is like, okay, well, there's not enough magic here. There's not enough thing. I don't like the way things are manifesting. I'm looking for a miracle, but I don't really see them yet. And so if you want a miracle, you got to have faith. But you need faith, you got to have hope. And if you have hope, well, then you have to have the courage. And the courage is to change something, to shift something, to do something different. And so this is about you literally wanting something and saying, you know what, I need a little magic in my life. Let me plant some seeds and I'll wait for the magic to grow. I need a little beauty in my life. Let me plant some seeds and wait for the beauty to grow. Some people are wanting the same exact things you are wanting, but they are not taking the steps to do it. They don't have the right mindset. They're not willing to release people, places, and things. Their ego is too big. All right, we're at 36 minutes. I'm going to clarify with some tarot. We're doing good, y'all. All right, so first card that comes out is the Ace of Coins. Here it is, and this comes out in line with abundance and divinity. And it comes out with grounding. Yo, it's like as soon as you get quiet, as soon as you start to stay present, the Most High is like, okay, there's a seed. You know, I just needed you to get in your own garden, right? I needed you in your own garden before I could give you this seed to grow, right? Like everybody's got a seed. We get many seeds. And so whatever this seed is that you are about to grow, the only reason why it's growing is because you are reflecting back on all the decisions that you made, where maybe you didn't honor your garden, you didn't honor your life, you didn't honor what this thing was, right? And so now you're making decisions that look like your halo. You're making decisions that reflect the fact that you are wearing a divine uniform and you have to move in a certain kind of way. And so here comes the Ace of Pentacles. For some, the Ace of Pentacles, it is finance, like actual, literal money. For others, it is the seed that is going to bring the money. But y'all, this is why I'm excited. I mean, it starts out with abundance and you got Ace of Pentacles, you got grounded. And so this is the Most High is like, yo, I love the way you're moving here, baby. Take this seed. Now go ahead and plant it and watch what happens. But you're trusted. You are trusted to receive this seed. And the only reason why you were trusted to receive it is because you trusted yourself. You started moving different, living different. You got it. You're going to get what you deserve. You're going to get it. All right. I explained in the most recent video, or maybe one of the last two or whatever, that all of the aces are really like those moments in video games where you got to find a certain amount of coins or gems, or, you know, like it's literally like the part in the video game where you get something. And so this is like finding money in your life. But the universe put it there. The Most High put it there. Like it was always going to arrive on this day at this time, because you were always going to make a certain decision. You were always going to be self-aware. You found your own value, and now your value is going to be reflected. Now this Two of Swords is coming out on top of partnerships. Listen, the emotional pain, I know it's not yours. This is kind of telling me this is not yours, right? When you trusted yourself and you started integrating the messages that you were getting from within, that you needed to grow different relationships, you needed to be connected and aligned with different people. I think anybody that had been connected to you, they were almost like a cloak or a shield, like they were blocking an identity. It was like there was a piece of you that you couldn't see, and as long as you were linked up to the wrong people, you were never really going to be like. I hear something moving, y'all. In the woods behind me. Let me get focused. I'm sorry. There's stuff going on in there. There's stuff going on out here. So sometimes being in pain, not sometimes, all the time, being in pain doesn't allow us to think clearly. It doesn't allow us to make quality decisions. Now, if you're tied to people who are consistently putting you in pain, it is almost like you're self-sabotaging, because you're choosing the pain that connection brings you, and you're choosing not to trust your own intuition, which obviously wants to take you away from pain. It sounds like literal footsteps. Sorry, y'all. The only reason why you're getting the Ace of Pentacles is because you got rid of everybody that was blocking you from seeing who you really were. So it's like now you can grow the good relationships, but it's only because you grew the one with yourself first. The energy is weird. I don't like hearing stuff in the woods. I don't like hearing stuff behind me. And I can kind of tell the difference. You know, like you can hear like a larger creature, smaller creature. But it was like the rhythm of the leaves kind of gave me a vibe. Am I making sense? I'm trying not to be scary, but sometimes I'm scary. All right, so this is gonna be, all right, so now we have Three of Wands. Yo, so here come your soulmates. Here come your soul allies. These are the people that reflect who you are. They're going to be the perfect mirror. These are going to be the people that have done the cleaning. They've gotten the negativity out of their mind. They've gotten the negativity out of their spirit. And they are literally coming in. These are your helpers. And so you don't do this alone. You have found your own value, and you won't have to describe the value that you have to anybody. They will see it. You know how some people, it's like you just meet them and they already don't like you. You're like, but wait, I don't even know you. Like, why don't you, like, what did I do to you? We have no history. What is the issue? Like, those people obviously are not aligned with you. And so think about that experience versus meeting somebody and being like, oh my God, have we met before? You know what I mean? Because you just align. Now we have Knight of Staffs. This is about kind of being impulsive, but sometimes it's about like an energy coming in quickly, sometimes changing a direction really quickly, adjusting your route. But then also the Wands is, it's that spirit. The Wands is spirit. So this is like passionately pursuing your spirit. And what do you know? Help is here, right? As you've decided to be your own help, and your help is chasing you in the same way. All right, I'm going to get one more, and then I'm going to clarify with an oracle deck. And then we get another Knight. Knight of Cups. And so you honored your spirit. And so it's like now you can passionately pursue what you love. Like now you can lead with love. Before, it was probably not even safe for you to really offer love to anybody because you weren't receiving love, right? It's like now you can open up. The Knights are trying to build themselves up to become kings and queens. And so you are in the process of like building your kingdom. right? You're attempting to establish your throne. And now it is safe because you established your throne on the inside, right? And so now you can build it on the outside. Now you can find your court. Now you can, you know what I mean? Everybody that is a part of the king or the queen's court is coming into you. All right, so now we'll just clarify with this deck. I think it was called like Shadow and Mist Oracle or something like that. All right, first card that comes out, it says they can't hide what you already know. Now this is coming out on top of reflects back on situations. So this is giving me the energy. Yes, there are people that you have to leave behind. And when I saw the poverty and the please help and the emotional pain, that's not all yours. That's for the people that can't go with you. A lot of people that can't go with you are the same people that never wanted you to go. And so you may never hear an apology. You may never have anybody that is really going to be verbally accountable for the things that they have done in order to stop you from getting this one-way ticket, this ticket that's only for you. A lot of people never wanted you to take flight, even if they had the self-sacrifice. You know, what people do to you, they actually do to themselves. So you know something. When you were sitting and you were reflecting back on people, places, and the things, and when you were reflecting on decisions that you've made in the past, you discovered something about these soulmates, right? You understood why it was necessary for you to be connected to them, but now you understand why you must detach from them. And as soon as you start moving these people out of the positions that they have held in your life, all of a sudden, now here comes the allies, right? You take out a piece, a new piece comes, but the new piece that comes is going to reflect back to you the same honor, love, and appreciation and trust that you've offered yourself. All right, so we got 4 more, and then we'll be done with the reading. Balance your emotions. Now, this comes out with emotional pain, and that is what I'm saying. Like, when you're in emotional pain, you can't think. It's like, oh my God, life is ridiculous. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to talk to it. Like, I'm over life, right? Emotional pain. Sometimes people cause you emotional pain just so that you're not clear-headed, so that you can't make a decision, so that you can't see who you are, so that you can't evolve, so that you can't integrate what it is you're feeling inside. Some people know that they are liars, schemers, and scammers, but they don't want you to know that about them. And so whatever they have to do to keep you from recognizing the truth about who they are, they'll just keep you in states of consistent pain, right? But what happens when you start to balance your emotions? And the only reasons why you balance your emotions is because you start to trust your intuition. Your intuition is saying that person is a whole snake. Get away from them. Don't talk to them. Don't respond to them. Cut them off. Block them. Right? But then sometimes we kind of honor people and we, because they carry a certain title, sometimes we let them stay in our lives way past their expiration date, even if it is causing us some type of failure or grief or regret or remorse. We will still allow people to play positions that they are never capable or fit to play. When you balance your emotions, it's like, yeah, it does hurt me that you are a family member, but I also understand that you are very dark and very karmic, and I cannot continue life with you in this way, right? Like, it hurts, but your emotions are balanced, so now you can clearly make a decision. And so there are some people that have actually done things to you that they understand that they can't hide from you, and they know that they can't hide from you because of how you are responding and moving. You're no longer emotionally responding to them in the way that they needed you to respond, so that you did not have clarity in mind. Oh, I thought that was one. Okay, so now we got 3 more. Y'all. This one says their prayers are useless, divine intervention, unforgiven, abomination. I knew when I saw that emotional pain, it wasn't yours, because I was excited. And so can you imagine your excitement being a source of pain for another? If you're mad that I'm winning, if you're mad that I'm exciting, then you were never on my team anyway. You were never for me to begin with. So somebody is crying because you're smiling. Somebody's devastated that you are having joy. This is a hater. We got a hater in our midst. And so whoever is praying, these are people that don't want you to leave. They don't listen. Whatever is coming in for you is not coming in for them. And you could have been the best thing that they ever received. You could have been the greatest gift that they didn't know how to receive. And so they sabotage. They do whatever they have to do to cause you emotional pain, because guess what? That's all they have inside of them. They really can never offer you anything else except for what they're carrying. And so all them bags that the bag lady or the bag man had to put down, those wasn't your bags to begin with. As long as you were connected to those people, they were just going to keep handing you bags that didn't belong to you. It says pleasant message, good news. This is what you've manifested. You've manifested pleasant messages and good news because you found your own value. Listen, once you know how much you cost, this is like you putting this is like if you're an item and you have put yourself at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General. But the reality is that you're like $100. So it's like, why do you keep selling yourselves on the shelves of Dollar Tree and Dollar General if you are $100 item, right? And sometimes we sell ourselves cheap because of the relationships that we have connected ourselves to. And it's like, you know what? I need to go on over here to IKEA, or I need to go over here to JCPenney's or Macy's, because I should not be at nobody's Dollar Tree, right? And as soon as you get off of the shelf at the Dollar Tree, you know, sometimes you bring up stock, you bring up value, sometimes you bring up the quality of a group, and people don't want to let you go because you increase their value. So what happens when the big ticket item leaves? Everybody gets to be the little $1.25 that they really are, because things are not $1 anymore at Dollar Tree. Everything is $1.25. But they even have like a $5 or $2 or $10. Yeah. All right, let's get one more. So this is where you're going. Journey, travel, distance. You're taking laps around the world. That is the present message. That is the good news. Your journey has begun. That is the ticket that you got at the beginning of the reading. But the only way you can get on that plane is if you're wearing all white, because you have purified yourself, and if you bring your halo. But you can't bring your halo unless you bring it from out to within, right? From within to without, right? Like you got to put it on. But all halos start on the inside of us. Yeah, so what is pleasant for you is literally persecution for another. I mean, I honestly feel that people never wanted you to get here. All right, y'all, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.